I welcome you children in the new session in class 7, and we are going to deal with the literature book named Honeycomb. So here the very first chapter we will do, and the title of the story is Three Questions, written by Leo Tolstoy. So before we start the story, there are few questions which we will go through. A king has three questions and he is seeking answers to them. Means he is trying to find out the answers. What are the questions? Does the king get what he wants? So here we will see now what are those questions which the king is very eager to know the answers of those questions. So finally we will come to know whether the king got those answers or not. Three questions. The thought came to a certain king that he would never fail if he knew three things. These three things were: what is the right time to begin something, which people should he listen to, and what is the most important thing for him to do. So, the king had in his mind that if he knew the three answers of these three questions, like what is the right time to begin something, second one, which people should he listen to, third one, what is the most important thing for him to do, then he thought that he would never fail if he was knowing the answers of all these three questions. The king therefore sent messengers throughout his kingdom, promising a large sum of money to anyone who would answer these three questions. So the king also set some reward in a way of money, and he thought that whoever will give him a satisfactory answers, or the answers he would be satisfied after listening to it, so he will be giving a large sum of money to that person. Many wise men means intelligent people, they came to the king, but they all answered his questions differently. In reply to the first question, some said the king must prepare a timetable and then follow it strictly. Only in this way, they said, could he do everything in its proper time. Others said that it was impossible to decide in advance the right time for doing something. The king should notice all that was going on, avoid foolish pleasures, and always do whatever seemed necessary at that time. So here we can see that so many answers started coming to the king. Like some said he should prepare a timetable, and others said that he should decide in advance in for doing something. So the king should notice that what was going around him, and he should avoid the foolish recreations, or means he should not spoil his time and always do something which was necessary. Yet others said that the king needed a council of wise men who would help him act at the proper time. So others suggested that he should have the group of chosen people who would be giving him right advice to act at the proper time. This was because one man without find it impossible to decide correctly, without the help from others, the right time for every action. But then others said that there were some things which could be urgent. These things could not wait for the decision of the council. In order to decide the right time for doing something, it is necessary to look into the future. Now, but others said that if something urgent was there, he cannot wait for the group of people which he called the council to wait for the decision. In order to decide something, the right time for doing something, it is necessary that he should look into the future, and that magicians can only do. The king therefore would have to go to the magicians. In their answers to the second question, some said that the people must necessary to the king were his counselors, others said the press. So the second question was that who was the most important person the king should deal with. So some said counselors, some said priests, others said doctors, and yet others said that his soldiers were the most necessary. To the third question, some said science, others chose fighting, and yet others religious worship. So these were the activities which were very important. As the answers to these questions were so different, the king was not satisfied and gave no reward. Instead, he decided to seek the advice of a certain hermit. Who is a hermit? A person who lives a simple life and is generally living alone, who was widely known for his wisdom. So finally, the king got so many answers that he was very much puzzled, he was very much confused, he was also not satisfied, and so he did not give reward to any of the person, and he decided that he will now go to some hermit who will be giving him the right answers. The hermit lived in a wood. Wood means forest, which he never left. He saw no one but simple people, and so the king put on ordinary clothes. Now, since the king was going to meet a hermit who was a very simple living man, so the king also decided that he should also meet him in a very simple clothes. So before he reached the hermit's hut, the king left his horse with his bodyguard and went on alone. As the king came near the hermit's hut, he saw the hermit digging the ground in front of his hut. So he found the hermit was digging in front of his hut. Hut is what? A small house made of, it is not made of cement, rather it is made of, you may say, grasses or whatever it is. He greeted the king and continued digging. The hermit was old and weak. As he worked, he breathed heavily. So he greeted the king and continued digging. So hermit was very old and weak, and he worked, he breathed very heavily. Means he was breathing very heavily, he was very tired. The king went up to the hermit and said, I have come to you, wise hermit, to ask you to answer 3 questions. How can I learn to do the right thing at the right time? Who are the people I need most, and what affairs means work, which works are the most important? The hermit listened to the king but did not speak. He went on digging. So he continued digging, and like he was doing his work, seems like he was not paying attention to the king's words. You are tired, said the king. Let me take the spade and work in your place. So king offered him that for the help, that he will dig the ground or the field in place of him. Thanks, said the hermit, giving the king his spade. Then he sat down on the ground. So now hermit was taking rest, and now the king will be digging the field. So when the king had dug 2 beds. Now what are beds? They are the small patches of grounds which we generally use for planting. So he stopped and repeated his questions. So again, while digging, the king stopped himself and he asked those questions again. The hermit gave no answer but stood up, stretching out his hand for the spade, and said, Now you rest and let me work. But the king did not give him the spade and continued to dig. So the hermit was now thinking of taking the spade back from the king so that he will now do the work, but the king did not give him the spade. 1 hour passed, then another. The sun went down behind the trees, and at last the king stuck the spade into the ground and said, I came to you, wise men, for an answer to my questions. If you can give me no answer, tell me so, and I will return home. So king was very much dissatisfied now, because now it's going to be evening. The sun was going to set down. So he finally asked the hermit that will he give the answer or should he return back? Here comes someone running, said the hermit. Now here are, children, few questions. Like why did the king want to know answers to 3 questions? Because he thought that if he was knowing those 3 questions, he would be a successful person and nothing would trouble him, isn't it? So messengers were sent throughout the kingdom to find answers to the questions. Now the king turned round and saw a bearded man running towards them. So when king and hermit were looking, there a man was coming towards them running, and he had a beard around his face. His hands were pressed against his stomach. So he was pressing his hand against his stomach from which the blood was flowing. When he reached the king, he fainted and fell to the ground. The king and the hermit removed the man's clothing and found a large wound. Wound means he was badly injured in his stomach. The king washed and covered it with his handkerchief, but the blood would not stop flowing. The king redressed the wound until at last the bleeding stopped. So they did the nursing, they did the first aid. The king washed and covered that area where he was injured with his handkerchief, but the blood was still not stopping. And the king again redressed until the bleeding stopped. The man felt better and asked for something to drink. The king brought fresh water and gave it to him. By this time the sun had set and the air was cool. The king was the hermit's help, carried the wounded man into the hut and laid him on the bed. The man closed his eyes and lay quiet. The king, tired by his walk and the work he had done, lay down on the floor and slept through the night. So, even the man also, he laid him on the bed, the wounded man, the king laid him on the bed, and the man closed his eyes and he was taking rest. Even the king, since he was digging the field, so he also became quite tired and he also laid down on the floor and he slept. When he awoke, means when he got up in the morning, it was several minutes before he could remember where he was or who was the stranger bearded man was lying on the bed. So because he was so tired, he slept such a sound sleep. Nicely he slept. But when he woke up in the morning, he was very much unaware, that means he forgot everything what happened, and the man who was sleeping on the bed. "Forgive me," said the bearded man in a weak voice when he saw the king was awake. So that wounded man who was injured, he said to the king, "Forgive me. I do not know you and have nothing to forgive you for," said the king. Now the king is saying that I don't know you, so what is there to forgive? Forgive means when you ask that, please you excuse him for something he has done wrong to you. So you do not know me, but I know you. Now that bearded man said that you do not know me, but I know you. I am that enemy of yours who sought revenge on you because you put my brother to death and seized my property. So here comes the secret that reveals the secrets, that he is the enemy of the king. Why? Because he wanted to take revenge from the king, as he put that man's brother to death and he even captured his property. I knew you had gone alone to see that hermit, and I made up my mind to kill you on your way home. So the man was very well knowing that this king will be going to hermit's place in a very simple cloth with no bodyguards or any such arms or armaments. So he made up his mind that he would kill on his way. But the day passed and you did not return, because the king was working with the hermits, because he was not getting the answer, he was not returning, and there the man was waiting for him so that when he will return he will kill, but he did not return. So I left my hiding place and I came upon your bodyguard, who recognized me and wounded me. So he just came out from the hiding place and he was coming towards the king to kill him, but since the bodyguard was there outside, so he recognized that man, that he was going to kill him, so he was wounded by that bodyguard. I escaped from him, but I should have died if you have not dressed my wounds. So he said that I would have escaped, but I would have died if you had not dressed me my wounds. I wish to kill you and you have saved my life. So he said that I came to kill you, but the king saved his life. Now if I live, I will serve you as my most faithful servant and will order my sons to do the same. So the man said that since you have saved me, so I will be your most faithful servant and I will also order my sons to do the same. Forgive me. The king was very happy to have made peace with this enemy so easily and to have won him over as a friend. He not only forgave him, but said he would send his servants and his own doctor to look after him. And he promised to give back the man his property. Leaving the wounded man, the king went out of the hut and looked round for the hermit. Before going away, he wished once more to get answers to these questions. Now, so that enemy became king's friend, and king not only forgave him, but he said that he will see some doctor to take care of him, and he even promised to give the man's property back. So leaving the wounded man, the king again went out of the hut and looked for the hermit. So before going away, he wished one more to get answers to the questions. The hermit was on his knees sowing seeds in the beds. So he was putting the seeds into the beds that had been dug a day before. The king went up to the hermit and said, "For the last time I beg you," means I just beg you, I just request you to answer my questions, wise man. "You have already been answered." Now the hermit said that you have already got the answer, still bending down to the ground and looking up at the king as he stood before him. "How have I been answered?" Now the king is very surprised that how I have been answered. You did not answer and you are saying that I have been answered. "Do you not see," replied the hermit, "if you had not pitied my weakness yesterday and had not dug these beds for me, you'd have gone away. So you just thought that I was very weak and I was doing hard work, so you helped me. So you stayed with me. So then that man would have attacked you, and you have wished you have stayed with me. And so the man was unable to attack you. So the most important time was when you were digging the beds, and I was the most important man, and to do me good was your most important business. Afterwards, when the man ran to us, the most important time was when you were caring for him, because if you had not dressed his wounds, he would have died, and without having made peace with you." So he said that since that man came running to you, the important time was when you were caring him and when you had dressed his wounds, because if you would have died without having made peace with you. So he came at peace because you had pardoned him, you had forgiven him. So he was the most important man, and what you did for him was the most important business. So remember, then there is only one time that is important, and that time is now. So present time is the most important. It is the most important time because it is the only time we have any power to act. So that time we have the full power to act. The most important person is the person you are with at a particular moment. So at the present moment with whom you are, they are the most necessary person, for no one knows what will happen in the future and whether we will meet anyone else. The most important business is to do that person good, because we were sent into this world for that purpose alone. So these were the answers. So the most important person is the person you are at the present moment, and because you don't know what will happen in the future, whether we will meet again. Most important business is to do some person's good, betterment of the person, that is the most important business, because we were sent into this world for that purpose alone. So the author is Leo Tolstoy. So children, your homework is that you will read this chapter and try to write the hard word meanings which you have been given in your book itself. So the very first thing is that you will make the separate copy for this honeycomb, and you will write the word meanings, and if possible please try to draw the picture if you have the time, and then I'll be sending you the question answers in the PDF form which you will write in the copy. So till then, goodbye. Thank you for listening.